In a trip to the Philippines, I visited the Aetas, which is one of the many groups of Africans that migrated to many parts of Asia some 20,000 to 70,000 years ago. The Aetas are one of the Negrito tribes of the Philippines. They are called Negritos, which literally translates to little Negro or little black person. Now, some of the Negritos are what you would call pure Negritos.
I am pure-blooded Aeta.
While some are mixed with half Negrito, half Filipino.
It's like me. I am half, and then I have a husband who's a Filipino.
Deep in the Philippine mountains, hidden from civilization for thousands of years, lives a group of people whose presence stretches back to the dawn of time itself. The Aeta, also called Aeta, are the first black people to live in the remote mountains of Luzon in the Philippines, way before the Malays and Asians even came to the islands. They are a black tribe whose culture, traditions, and way of life survived through centuries of change and migration. As one of the oldest and rarest black indigenous groups in Asia, their distinct appearance sets them apart, with dark skin, curly hair, and a stature that shows their African ancestry. But even though they've been here for so long, their story is rarely told, and thus often misunderstood. Today, let's explore the captivating story of the Aeta people, the original black tribe in the Philippines that still exists to this day. Give this video a like to show your support, subscribe for more insightful discussions, and let us begin. Let's start by addressing the main topic, the Aeta's ancestry. Some people would argue that the Aetas are a whole different race that did not come from Africa. After all, many people only know them to have come from the ancient Aborigines of Australia. However, scientists have uncovered something remarkable. Contrary to popular belief, their origins may be more connected to Africa than initially thought.
A lock of hair found 90 years ago in the goldfields of Western Australia has turned out to be DNA gold for scientists. It's providing key evidence about how the first humans colonised the planet 70,000 years ago. Using the hair, scientists have mapped the DNA history of Aboriginal Australians and found they're the direct descendants of the first modern humans to leave Africa.
The reality is, we all came out of Africa, from a small homogeneous group who decided to migrate in search of better resources and opportunities. DNA evidence suggests that early humans migrated from Northeast Africa around 50,000 to 60,000 years ago. These early humans traveled across various continents, adapting to different environments and conditions. On their journey through Europe, Asia, and Australia, their DNA was spread. Over time, as this group settled and migration slowed, variations in physical traits like skin color and hair texture arose due to environmental adaptations. All of this leads us to the diversity we see in humans today. Many of us have certainly changed a lot, but can you believe that the Aetas have managed to preserve their identity despite facing numerous challenges throughout the years? Many Europeans today are no longer black, and the same is true for many parts of Asia and Australia. But the Aetas, they still resemble the original Aetas. Despite centuries of colonization and modernization, the Aetas have managed to preserve their cultural identity through their traditional way of life, including their spiritual beliefs, community structures, and environmental practices. Despite modern challenges, they continue to maintain their unique culture while adapting to new circumstances. The question is, how are they doing this? The answer is simple. Although this black tribe is small in number, they are incredibly strong, resourceful, and resilient. Their remote mountain and forest homes have also helped them protect their way of life. They have gone through a lot and are still standing. During Spanish colonial rule, the Aetas were referred to as Negritos. They are made up of about 25 different ethno-linguistic groups spread across the Philippines, with a total population of around 15,000. In the northern parts of the Philippines, some Aeta groups were called Pugo by natives. This term referred to people with darker skin and also meant goblin or forest spirit. That is because the Aetas have lived as forest dwellers, hunters, and gatherers for thousands of years. While the majority of Filipinos were eventually conquered by white colonizers, such as the Spanish and the Americans, the Aetas were able to escape such a fate. Now, there are a few reasons why the Aetas avoided being fully conquered. They lived in hard-to-reach mountainous areas and thick forests, which made it tough for outsiders to get to them. Their way of life was also mobile, so they could move around to stay away from danger. The Aetas also knew their land well, which helped them dodge conflicts. Sometimes they would also make deals with other groups or colonizers to stay safe. For instance, Miguel López de Legazpi, a Spanish navigator and governor general, recorded that several Aetas were sold into slavery in Borneo and China during the 1500s as a result of internal warfare within the tribe, disarray, and as a strategy for repelling enemies. Even so, colonizers were more interested in easier-to-reach areas with more resources, so the Aeta's remote locations didn't get as much attention. These factors combined to help the Aetas maintain their independence. And so the years went on, and the Aetas remained. The question is, how is this black tribe doing in today's modern world? And how has human advancement affected their culture? Today, the Aetas are working hard to preserve their unique culture in the face of modern pressures. Living in remote areas, many Aetas rely on hunting, gathering, and small-scale farming for their sustenance, which helps preserve their way of life. The Aetas are skilled with bows and arrows, just like other nomadic African tribes. They are known to be skilled fighters who can attack field workers or outsiders who intrude on their domain. To build shelter, they use sticks that have had the palm of banana leaves placed over them. Aetas that have undergone modernization have left the mountainous terrain and migrated to villages and mountain-free regions. Members of the modern Aeta tribe construct their dwellings out of bamboo, kogon grass, or even cement. They are known for constantly moving from place to place, which has given them a reputation for picking up the languages of their neighbors. Now, what's particularly daring about them is their art. A traditional form of visual art among the Aetas is body scarification. They intentionally create wounds on areas like their back, arms, legs, hands, and abdomen. These wounds are then treated with fire, lime, and other substances to create scars. Another form of body modification is teeth chipping. The Dumagat, a subgroup of the Aetas, use a file to shape their teeth during late puberty and later dye them black. The Aetas also use various ornaments that reflect their subsistence lifestyle. For special occasions, they use flowers and leaves as earplugs. They frequently wear girdles, necklaces, and neckbands made from braided rattan, often decorated with wild pig bristles. Sadly, while these traditions are still observed, they are less prevalent today as the Aetas adapt to modern influences and changes in their way of life. Currently, when it comes to religion, their beliefs vary but are still usually quite distinct. Some Aetas believe in one main god, who oversees other spirits or gods. For example, the Aeta people living near Mount Pinatubo worship a deity called Apo-Na. The Aetas are also animists, meaning they believe in spirits that live in nature. They believe that these spirits inhabit places like rivers, seas, mountains, and valleys. Traditionally, Aetas don't need special events to pray. They often connect their prayers to their daily activities. For example, they perform dances before and after pig hunts and before gathering shellfish. The dances serve to ask for luck or show respect to the animals. Similarly, they do dances related to collecting honey. In the 1960s, American missionaries from the New Tribes Mission came to work with the Aetas, teaching them about Christianity and providing education. As a result, many Aetas in Zambales and Pampanga have become evangelical Christians. There are also some Jehovah's Witnesses among the Aeta people. Those are just a few of the many ways that they thrive despite the dominance of the modern world. However, this does not mean that the Aetas are without their own struggles today.
Ang ko lang, yung mga ibang sinasakim yung lupa namin pero hindi namin pwede, paglaban namin yan. Kasi dito kami lumaki hanggang sa nagkapamilya kami.
Gusto namin po sanang walang pumapasok na ibang taong nanggugulo sa amin.
Mining, deforestation, illegal logging, and slash and burn farming has caused the indigenous population in all parts of the Philippines to steadily decrease to the point where they only number in the thousands today. As wildlife and fish resources have declined, many Aetas have been forced to adopt an alternative economic strategy. Instead of trading meat for rice, They now trade labor. Access to basic services like education and healthcare is limited in their remote areas, making it hard for them to improve their living conditions. Their traditional culture is at risk as modern influences pull younger generations away from their customs. They also struggle with legal challenges, as it can be difficult for them to protect their land rights and get the legal recognition they need. Socially, they often face discrimination, which makes it even harder to advocate for their rights. All these modern factors combined make it harder for the Etas to maintain their traditional way of life. Activists are worried that the future is bleak for the Etas and could be on the verge of disappearing. Thus, sharing this information with you all is our way of trying to prevent this from happening. By raising awareness and fostering understanding, we hope to encourage action that will protect the Etas and their unique culture. Personally, we believe that there are several approaches that could help the Etas thrive and endure. For starters, the Philippine government should implement and enforce tougher regulations to safeguard the Etas' land from illegal activities. They need to make sure these rules are followed and that violators are held accountable. The country should also create new job opportunities for the Etas that match their traditional skills. This could include things like ecotourism or making handicrafts that they can sell. Improving access to education and healthcare is also very important. Better schools and health services would help the Etas gain new skills and stay healthy despite the changes around them. And most importantly, we need to make sure that the Etas have a say in decisions that affect their lives. They should be included in discussions and decisions about their land and resources. Raising awareness about their struggles and building support from activists, NGOs, and international groups can help bring more attention and resources to their cause. The Etas may be struggling now, but one thing's for sure. This is a resilient Black tribe of fighters who have endured centuries of challenges and continue to stand their ground. They will continue to work hard for their survival. Let's support their efforts and advocate for their rights so that their rich heritage and unique way of life can be preserved for generations to come. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this journey. If you found this value in this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful discussions. Together, we can continue to learn about important issues and possibly make a difference.